wanted to bring you both together today because obviously, Javicia, you were in Kaci's shoes not that long ago. You knew what it was like stepping into the leading role, especially as a Black actress. I kind of wanted to talk about what your journey has been so far and what advice you really want to share with Kaci as she embarks on this journey.
My journey's been beautiful. I think the first season for me, my first season, was there were challenges that I was excited to be able to get through. It was like getting to know a character, getting to know a world that already exists, getting to know a crew and a cast that has already done a season. So there's a lot of factors, there are a lot of layers. But then coming into my second season, the show's third season, it felt like a second language. Like everything flowed, and I felt connected to everyone involved. And also I felt like the difference between my first season and my second season is like my first season still evolved around Kate Kane, and I felt like going into the second season we started to see more of Ryan's story, which was really important for the Ryan fans. And then as far as advice, I've talked to Kaci about this already, but I think the most important thing that I found is to take time for yourself, is to make sure that you take some time to breathe, you take some time to meditate, you take some time to pray if you're a praying person, or journal. Just you have to take time to yourself, because I swear it will feel like it's beautiful, but there's also this thing where it feels like everyone's going to need something from you. Everyone's going to be calling, everyone's going to be texting, everyone's going to be emailing, everyone's going to be like tapping you like, hey, can I get something really quick from you? And it's such a beautiful experience to have. But what ends up happening is there's nothing left inside of you to give to yourself. And then it can start to affect other things. So just making sure you take time to yourself. But we talked about this.
Yeah. Kaci, I hate to put you on the spot, but are you heeding this advice?
Oh, of course I'm heeding this advice. I think that was very hard for me in the beginning, because I am very hard on myself. Still am, always have been. So when I felt like I was doing those things, I felt like I was like, not things with my faith and obviously like that, but things where I was journaling or taking that time to watch a comfort TV show was, disregarding the work that I was doing, was disgracing the work that I was doing, that I needed that time to do that work. And throughout the series, I realized that, taking that time for myself will only improve my work, because I'll be more happy. And I think that that's super important. I also had a mentor this summer. Her name is Sierra Renee. She was in DC Legends of Tomorrow, and she was in The Flash for a little bit, and she played Hawk Girl. And I remember she told me she's told me the same thing, that is super duper important. And she made me make a list of 5 things that I could do on my own that didn't have to do anything with my phone or didn't have anything to do with work. And I made a list of, 5 things that just make me happy that I could do on my downtime.
And Javicia, I know in that Instagram live, you talked about how often you're asked about the responsibility of being the leading actress, being a Black leading actress on a major network show. Do you ever get exhausted with those questions, or are you thrilled that people are kind of making sure that they're highlighting the importance of your representation on TV?
I don't get exhausted for any questions, because I always assume that this is being asked because they don't know the answer. Mm-hmm. I feel like, I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And I feel like with Kaci and I, it makes a difference to the world as Black actresses to play these characters, but we are just actually being ourselves. Like, I didn't paint myself Black, like I am Black. So this is kind of like, I'm just existing as myself. And the beautiful part about like this entire journey is that we're showing that existing as ourselves is enough. We're showing that every part of who we are, every box that we check is enough, because for so long we didn't see that on TV. So it felt like we weren't enough. Mm-hmm. People talk about representation, and sometimes I hear people who are very represented say, oh, representation this and representation that, or why does it always have to be the Black superhero? Like, why can't she just be a super? Because what they don't understand is what it's like to turn on the TV every single day and not see yourself. It changes how you feel about yourself and how you feel like you exist in this society.
And I do want to pivot a little bit to talking about like Hollywood steps moving forward. They've acknowledged that change needs to happen. There needs to be more diversity. And while there has been growth, I would say there's still work to do. Where do you hope to see the industry in the near future? Kaci, do you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine. But of course, people on screen is 100%. Because like as Javicia said, that's what if you don't see yourself on the screen, you start to feel certain ways about yourself. But I think what's really great is when you see a crew of color, when you see people working around the set that look like you in these positions that you've never seen before. You know, Ava's great for that, because I'd never seen 2 Black camera operators in my life. And seeing people that look like you in these positions, it's inspiring because you don't see it done before, and people watching the TV show don't see that. So I hope and I pray in the future that, you know, sets improve, because there are people that want those jobs, of course. So if they're given the opportunity to have those jobs, it's something that I truly want to see.
I do wonder if you've had any audition experiences that you have found fundamentally problematic. Kaci?
I specifically, you know, I've had a couple, but nothing specifically that, you know, comes to mind.
Yeah.
With those experiences, you know, like Javicia said, it all comes down to the people that are writing it. And if there's someone in the room that can represent you, then your story will be told. And you know, God and the universe have not put me in those roles. I've not gone through those roles, which I'm grateful for. But for the people who have gone through that struggle, I hope that the roles that are happening now, like Naomi and Batwoman, you know, can showcase true stories. And I'm grateful that I've never had to go through anything like that.
Yeah. How about you, Javicia?
You know, I do want to say this. The idea of racial identity, it's not just like a Black-white thing. Like it even happens within our own community. And unfortunately, I saw an audition the other day that like the description of the character had nothing to do with their storyline whatsoever. Like it wasn't like, okay, later on we're going to find out that one parent is Black, the other is white, or later on we're going to find out like this makes a difference in the story. So strictly they describe this character a specific way because of the idea of that character looking exotic across from this actor. And that was a thing for me. That was an issue for me. I was just like, okay, I've read this entire script and her racial identity is not a part of it. So why, if you want her to be Black, fine, but why can't she be any version of Black? Why does it have to be, you know, that she's this look that sometimes in our community we put on like different levels of hierarchy? And I just want us to continue to showcase every version of us. I think every version of us is absolutely beautiful, no matter what scale of the color range that you fall on, or what texture your hair is, or what size your body is. And I love that I am watching shows now that shows every different variation of us.